between what we saw in August last year by way of the CLRC or the Competition Law Review Committee proposals and now what the MCA has circulated? Were there any surprises for you?
You can always expect a few surprises. Nothing that causes one to immediately fall off one's chair. But I think what you mentioned in the lead-up, which is the Section 26(2), which basically talks about the Commission's power to no longer actually restrains the Commission's power to examine something that it has substantially ruled on. It makes eminent sense, but if I remember correctly, the CLRC had also talked about clubbing. Yeah. Similar complaints, but of course the assumption is that they happen at the same time, yeah, or close. But as a departure, I think what the CLRC had recommended in this particular provision was that the Commission would not examine issues that are substantially similar to those it had finally ruled on. The way the amendment reads right now, one is not sure, and in fact it could be argued that even if on a prima facie stage the Commission has said, I will not examine it or I will, then it can't look at that case again. Okay. Which is a little bit odd. And if you go back to the Civil Procedure Code, yeah, which lays down the principle of res judicata, what does it say? It says substantially similar, and the parties also to be the same.
Yes.
So frankly, I haven't had the time to study, and I don't know if anyone would have so far studied the implications of what would happen if you were to settle this between two parties that have fought at the Commission, and the Commission has ruled yes in favor, say there was an abuse of dominance and the informant's claim stands. What happens if another informant can't come before the Commission? Can he go to the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal to claim damages? Because very clearly our law is one that does not have standalone damages. You can't just claim damages without
has to be
the backing
to a
of
CCI approval.
Precisely. So what if the Commission's missed out someone?
Okay.
Do his claims, are they forfeited for the simple reason of coming into this provision?
Okay, for the benefit of our viewers, I'll just elaborate on what this is about. Section 26 allows the regulator to take a preliminary or prima facie view before a Director General investigation is directed. The MCA is proposing that the CCI may choose to not look into a complaint of anti-competitive conduct if the same or substantially the same facts have been or issues have been decided by it in the past. Nisha, are you as uncomfortable with this proposal as Avantika is? And to your mind, what could be the adverse implications of these recommendations if it's made part of the law?
So the adverse impact, if this is made part of the law, would essentially be that, at least from the point of view of Section 3, where the Supreme Court has already held that the CCI does not need to define the relevant market, facts and issues would pretty much be the same across cases. So to give you an example, if there was an investigation involving steel companies and if it was a cartel investigation, effectively the issues would either be price fixing, market allocation, restriction of supply, or bid rigging, right? So these issues will not change, and particularly if it's bid rigging, effectively the issue would be the same and the facts would be pretty much the same, that parties colluded in relation to a bid. What would change would be the time period. So I think the Commission here is going to have to specify whether they're looking at a shorter period in terms of clubbing, or if it's a long duration, whether they would then reserve the right, as they currently do, to reinvestigate and look at it as a fresh information.